Hey guys, Mr. C coming to you from Vancouver, Canada. Absolutely beautiful place, picturesque backdrop, very sunny day today, beautiful. I want to talk to you today about coaching. First, I want to tell you my own full disclosure, and then after that I want to get into why I think it's a good idea, and I'm going to shut my ringer off right now. So first off, what do I have to gain with what I'm saying or what I'm not saying? Well, one thing I want you to know, I do work with Tusk, I do work on my own as well, but it's not my source of income. Basically, coaching covers some of my hobbies and traveling a little bit. If I was to actually add it up, I'll bet you I get paid, including overseeing the WhatsApp group, I probably don't even get paid $1 an hour for what I do, in all honesty. That's not because there's not value there, that's because I sink a ton of time into it. It's because I've developed ways of generating income elsewhere, so I don't need it to rely on for income. And that's not an ego boost, that's simply telling you that what I'm about to say has nothing to do with trying getting people's money. I'm a big fan of coaching in any area of your life that you need help with. If you want to get in better shape, you go to the gym, but you want to be more efficient, so you hire a coach. He's the one that's going to kick your ass, he's going to get you into shape. You're basically leveraging your time, so you don't have to learn everything that he learned. If you want, financial services, if you want investment advice, you get a coach. You're going to get an investment advisor. If you want, you learn basketball, football, if you want to running, if you want to get into the Olympics, what have you. You want to go training at your schooling to get a degree. You have a coach, you have a teacher. The reason is time is too valuable to learn everything by yourself. Now, if you're talking about interacting with women, you're talking about a skill set that basically only the upper tier of men have. Only alpha males really understand how to do that. They understand how to interact properly, they have the confidence to interact properly, they understand body language and subtle cues, masculinity, femininity, they understand all of it. Some of them maybe knew it naturally, and other ones learned it over the course of their life like a skill, which it's totally possible to learn. Myself, I learned it. I know Tusk learned it. And probably some people just developed it naturally. But the important thing is your time. If you want to learn it yourself, it's going to take you thousands and thousands of hours to get good at that. Literally. You're talking about a skill that is significantly harder than becoming a doctor. And to become a doctor, you're looking at 7 years of full-time studies and a couple $100,000 that people will pay. So to me, it makes no sense when people try and figure out a way to do it themselves. I know there's a ton of great information online. Tusk has a tremendous library of videos. I would look at that as content to augment your own coaching and your own learning, so that you're not in a place where all of your learning takes place with a coach. You should take on a coach, do a couple boot camps, 1, 2, whatever works for you, and learn hands-on fast. Do 1 boot camp, take a few months, integrate everything solidly. That's when you're watching the videos. That's when you're learning about little, ways of tweaking things. And then you go and do another boot camp if you need to, and get yourself really on track. But to view it as a total do-it-yourself thing, to me, is totally foolish. Like, I started out in the do-it-yourself model because I didn't know there were coaches. And I sunk in a couple thousand hours because I'm fortunate and I didn't have to work. I took a period of time off work, maybe a couple years, a year or something. And for me, I just did day game full time. It was just my way of pushing through a tremendous amount of fears. If I'd known there were coaches that did this, I would have just paid a couple $1,000 and fast forwarded my life. I didn't know that. Fast forward, I was very fortunate through a bunch of random situations to meet a number of different coaches in the community and to start working with them. One of which is Tusk. Great guy. Incredible guy. I have the highest respect for him. I get no kickback from his services, so I really don't care who you hire as a coach. If you don't know somebody, I would start with him because he knows his shit. I've seen it. I toured with him for probably about 3 months, no, maybe 2.5 months through Brazil and then Colombia and then the States. And I'll be seeing him again in Colombia toward the end of this year, doing some boot camps down there. He's a great guy. He's very legit, very down to earth. This isn't a plug for him. I'm just simply saying, start with that. If you don't like him for whatever reason, that's fine. Like, I would say a great idea is the coach that when you're considering who you should pick as a coach, you should be looking for someone whose style is somewhat similar to something that you respect. You should be looking for somebody that's authentic, somebody that's probably even going to have, you can even raise your concerns with them and say, hey, look, what if it's not really like I thought it was going to be in person? Most of the people like Tusk, very reasonable guy. He's not out to take your money, I guarantee you that. He could be charging significantly more than he is. Myself, I do coaching. I love it. I love working with guys because I love seeing the transformation in the guys. The actual money that it puts into my pocket on a trip, okay, so it covers my hotel. It's not a significant sum as far as, it might feel significant when you're paying it, but as far as, when I look at what I could be making in my regular industry, in my real company that I work at, I could be making at least 20, 30 times, maybe 100 times more on a per hour basis. So it's not an efficient way to generate income for me, but it's super important for you. I see guys on the WhatsApp group, and you should talk to Tusk if you want to be added to the WhatsApp group. It's a great way to learn stuff. It's a great way to bounce questions and learn from other guys' experience. But I see a lot of guys on the group there that have this opinion that the idea right now is, everything on the internet is for free. Well, here's a really good maxim for you to live by. You do get what you pay for in life. So if you're on the internet to try and get stuff for free, you're going to get real shit advice. That's just the way that it works. On the flip side, if you see value in saving your own time, then I highly recommend you get yourself a good coach and you'll be taken care of. It's not a big thing. So we've got boot camps going on in San Diego in September, and then toward the end of the year in I believe November, Tusk will be announcing it, but we're going to have some camps in Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, and Colombia. And then I think in January we'll be doing some camps in Brazil. So definitely be in touch with Tusk, whichever one of those stands out with you. But look very seriously about getting a coach. It's a great way to really propel yourself forward in life. Thanks for your time, guys.